Good evening and welcome to another special edition of the Just Danny Show. As promised, I said I was going to release the actual video I recorded at the Hob Nob almost 3 weeks ago now in regard to my interaction with the incumbent city council member Michele Pines, seat 5, and her boyfriend. It didn't go so well. It got a little kooky. So I did a little teaser and put out a reel of some of the interaction. The reason why it's taken me so long to actually show you the video in its full capacity is because of the sound issues. As you are aware or may not be aware, that is a very loud place. Tons of people were in there. It's very loud. So if you're just walking in there and you're utilizing the sound on just your iPhone, the iPhone mic, you're not going to hear anything. So I will usually pop in a very sensitive mic. It's a great mic that I use. However, when it's really loud in places, people tend to yell, so the other person can hear them. And so inevitably that's what I did. And I yelled into the mic because they couldn't hear me. So I had to be loud. So when you're yelling into an already hot mic, this is what happens. The sound gets very overmodulated. So, it's when I play these clips for you from the video, you might want to turn down the volume on your phone because it probably will jar your brain a little bit because it's so overmodulated. But I wanted to try to see if I could get somebody to kind of mess with it. I did what I could do with it, and it didn't really help too much. So I tried to get somebody else that was really, really good with sound. And unfortunately, it's just the sound is trash. They couldn't even fix it. So that's what was taking me so long to release the video, is because I was trying to have the sound fixed, if you will. Couldn't happen. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you what I do have and to the best of my ability. So again, you're probably going to want to turn down the volume on your phone or your laptop or whatever you're listening on. So let me just preface this. I was at the Hob Nob almost 3 weeks ago. I went around and I was interviewing some people, basically the incumbents. I didn't really approach any candidates. It was the incumbents. And I was just questioning them. Specifically, I went up to Michele Pines, the incumbent, like I said, for seat 5 for city council. I did have some important questions to ask her, but more so, I wanted to ask her about filing false police reports against citizens, specifically myself, and that didn't go over well. But what it did start off as, I did ask her a few softball questions, which initially was about the millage rate, the assisted living facility, and then I go into, of course, the question that gets her a little triggered. So without further ado, let me go ahead and show you those clips. Take a look.
I'll see you later. All right. Okay. Hey, Michele, what's your thoughts on the millage rate? Are you going to roll it back?
I don't know yet.
Are you thinking about, so you don't know yet, you're not thinking about rolling it back? Or keeping it the same?
I think we will, as we progress with these special meetings, we'll be able to figure that out.
Okay. And then what's your stance on the assisted living facility?
On the assisted living facility?
Yeah, are you for it or are you against it?
I cannot discuss that until it comes before council.
Okay, so why were you able to discuss the millage rate just now? What's your thoughts on the millage rate?
I said we would have to have more budget meetings for us to discuss.
All right, so you can't tell me even just a little bit about the ELF at all?
About what?
Do you feel like we needed an assisted living facility in general?
Assisted living in general?
Yeah.
Just from what I hear from some of the public, yes.
Okay. Okay. And then we noticed that you had a quote on your Facebook page from a socialist. Did you know that was a socialist?
No, it's not a socialist. It's about discourse.
It's from but it was a quote from a socialist from the Socialist Party of Zambia.
No, that is not where I got the quote from.
Okay, well, if you look it up, it was a quote from a socialist. You might want to be careful.
Yeah. No.
Because that was a quote from a socialist. Why aren't you able to handle your fiduciary duties? Is it because we feel like you're too busy filing false police reports against citizens? You know, filing a false report, Michelle, against citizens is a second-degree felony. Do you feel comfortable weaponizing the CPD against citizens? I'm here as a constituent asking questions. I mean, don't you feel like that was a false report?
Okay, so you can see there, she's okay. She's checking me out. She's looking me up and down, trying to size me up to see, you know, what I'm going to do, as if I'm going to harm her or anything. It was really kind of strange the way she was sizing me up and looking at me, but whatevs. But anyway, I actually wanted to go over some of her answers to those questions, first being the millage rate. As you can see from her answer there, she wasn't sure what she was going to do. Now, this has me worried because she had no qualms about raising the millage rate a couple of years back, and she did. She voted for it. So when I asked her, you know, point blank, this question about the millage rate, she's like, I don't know. She should know. And even if she's going to pull, well, I can't discuss this outside of the council setting, she could say, I don't have plans to, or she could have answered it in a way that would ensure that she wasn't going to raise it. But in my opinion, she certainly is on the fence. Actually, I don't even think on the fence, because I know how Michele is. We've all watched her these last several years, and quite honestly, I think she's contemplating it. But that's just, you know, my opinion. And then, of course, the second question I asked her was about the assisted living facility. Toward the end there, she said, according to what other people are saying, she feels like, yes, we do need one. So when the assisted living facility comes up before the council, I'm pretty sure she's going to vote for it. I already knew she would probably vote for it anyway, but I was trying to put her on the spot and ask her. And from her answer, she literally, you know, she's going to vote for it. And then, of course, the socialist comment, she did have a quote. And on the video there that I showed you, I put the quote up from the socialist, and that was highlighted. And that's specifically the quote she used on her campaign page. So she did take a quote from a socialist. Whether she wants to admit it or not, which she clearly doesn't in this video, that's beside the point, but it was from a socialist. So, and then of course you saw her reaction when I asked her about filing false police reports against citizens, which she did. She filed a false report against myself, and a few other people were also mentioned in that report. So pretty ridiculous. So she didn't like that. She didn't like that question, rightfully so, because she knows she lied, and that is blatant in her response in the video clip. And then, so moving on. So I want to preface this next clip of this video. She's swooped off by that young man as if her life's in danger, because he's like, and you can see, I might have cut it out because I went to the next clip with her boyfriend, Greg, but he literally says, "Are you okay?" Like, the bitch is fine. Okay. And he kind of looks back at me and he whisks her away, like, you know, like someone had just beaten her or something, or he was protecting her from a 4'11" grandma, which is me. So I don't know what that was all about. It's drama. It was very dramatic, and as if the drama couldn't get worse. Again, I'm going to preface this next clip for you, which is her boyfriend. The reason why I want to preface it is because the way he comes up to me off camera, because I'm still videoing her walking off with that young man, and you can hear Greg, her boyfriend, in the distance, and you can hear him saying, you know, "Don't kick her crap." So I just want to preface what happened. As she walked out from around the table, and again, I'm holding a notepad, I'm holding a pen, I've got my purse, I've got the gimbal with my phone attached to it. My hands are full, okay? I have no way to use my hands. They're full. So as she comes around the table, her fat ass kicks over with her ass, her thigh, something. That's right, I said it. She knocks over the sign because she's got her signs, her yard signs, if you will, with the stands on them, just leaned up, propped up against the front of her table, right? So when she comes around, she knocks it over, and I'm standing there, and I feel something hit my leg, and I look down, and it's fallen over on my leg, actually like on my knee, up to my knee area here. And so since my hands are full, and I'm not going to be malicious, I'm not going to just let it fall on the floor, right? And just move and let it fall and be an asshole. As much as I dislike her, I'm not going to do that to somebody's property because that's just not who I am as a person, right? So because I had my hands full and it was leaned up against my knee, I'm bouncing around like with my knee. I'm like kicking, well, at first I'm trying to like pop my knee up so I can like push it off my knee and hopefully with the momentum prop it back up on front of the table, right? Well, that didn't work because when I went to like push my knee up to get it to flop off my knee back up onto the table, it actually had fallen further down my shin onto the top of my right foot. And I've got my gimbal in my left hand. So as it falls on top of my foot, now I'm trying to kick it because again, I got my hands full. So as it falls on top of my right foot, I'm trying to kick it off the top of my foot just enough to where I can, nudge it, kick it back up onto the front of the table. Are you guys following me, what I'm trying to explain here? So as I'm trying to kick it up off my foot and I'm carrying all this stuff, just trying to flip it back up on the table, that's when you hear Greg come around from off camera, say, "Don't kick her, crap!" And then it goes south from there. Take a look.
That fell. It fucking fell, Greg.
I saw you.
Oh, you're an asshole. It fell on my leg, and I went to kick it back up.
Get away.
You don't talk to me like that. No, I don't. This is a public place. This is not a private place. I didn't trash it. It fell over on my damn leg, Greg. It fell over. Okay, I am not stalking you. Oh.
You were parked in front of my house?
I was not parked in front of your house. I drove by your house. You know why I drove by your house? To take a picture of the Murray sign. Yeah, I'll just blurb it out. And I didn't kick her sign over. It fell on my leg, Greg.
So immature. He literally he goes, "Free advert, free promotion," and he starts putting her sign, and he's doing this as I'm trying to like video his face to ask him, more questions or pretty much have, to film him in general as I'm talking to him. He's hiding her sign with his hands, or with the sign. So he's doing this shit. He's like this. And I'm like, "Oh, so mature, Greg." And he's like, "Free promotion." And so I just blurbed it out because I'm not going to give her free promotion on my channel here. So, but this is the motion. This is what he was doing with her sign. Real mature. This guy's like in his 60s. So anyway, and then following that, this next clip, I confront him about the whole Social Security numbers being posted online. Again, this is what happened to me back on May 14. My along with my husband's Social Security numbers were posted on social media. Again, if you want to hear about that, I believe it's on that. It's on that same podcast, Sex, Lies, and whatever. I kind of get into it there a little bit. But anyway, so I kind of confront him on that. Take a look.
Did you enjoy putting my Social Security number out with your fake account, your girlfriend's fake account? Did you enjoy that, Greg? Doing a felony? Oh, yeah, I make up stories all the time. That's why it's out there, Greg, under Robert Carnival's fake account that your girlfriend put out. Yeah, I'm cuckoo. Yeah. Why did you feel like you needed to invoke Marcy's Law? Do you feel like you're that important, sir? That you have to invoke Marcy's Law on a fake false report? The National Enquirer, and worse, the National Enquirer.
Oh, he's a wiener. Anyway, in this last clip I'm going to show you is just how we wound down, and I kind of got on him and made fun of him to be a little drama queen because he invoked what they call Marcy's Law, which is generally for like, high elected officials, or like if you're even a cop's wife, cop's mom, family member. Anytime where there's a crime being, there's a crime being reported and you're a witness or you're a victim, they're going to invoke Marcy's law. So all of their information is redacted from the report, such as his DOB, his address, OLN, all that kind of information will be redacted because he's invoking Marcy's law. And as a witness, he, to an elected official, he has a relationship with he's her boyfriend. He's not her husband. He's not her son, not her parent, but a boyfriend. And he felt the need to invoke Marcy's law because he's scared for his life. You invoke this, like I said, to redact, pretty much, well, DPPA information should be redacted anyway, but DOB, address, phone number, stuff like that. So because, he feels scared for his life. It's so scary. I have to invoke Marcy's law because I'm a council member's boyfriend. Anyway, so I give him shit about that. Here's the clip on that.
You had to invoke Marcy's law because you're scared for your life over spam emails, Greg. Spam emails, Greg. Spam. It was a public street. It was a public street, Greg. I'm allowed to drive down a public street and take a photograph. Is code enforcement stalking you if they have to take a picture, Greg? If you have a violation at your house? Are they? Is a realtor a stalker if they have to go by your house and take a picture of your house? Are they a stalker? You must be full of yourself, sir, if you think I want to stalk you.
So bottom line is this man thinks that I'm stalking him because he says I parked in front of his house. I merely drove by. I posted the pics right on my Facebook page. What was it, like last month or something? Because I felt it very hilarious that a Republican is promoting a Democrat in her front yard. Clear rhino. She's a rhino. She might as well. I say it all the time, and I'm going to say it again. Michele, please just change your party affiliation. We'd probably have more respect for you if you just admitted that you're a Democrat. But anyway, so I drove by and I took a picture. It's a public road. But according to Greg, it's stalking, and I parked in front of his house because I took pictures of a sign that said Murray so I could post them online to prove that she's a rhino. Again, promoting and advocating for a Democrat mayor. Even though I know it's nonpartisan, don't give a shit. If you're a Republican, you don't need to be sporting Democrat candidates in your yard. I don't care if it's for nonpartisan or otherwise. So that's why I took the picture. But he's so adamant that I am stalking him to the point where they both did a cyber stalking report, and the LCSO closed that out because it was over. They were receiving spam emails, or at least she was receiving spam emails. He wrote an affidavit because somebody went online somewhere, I don't know where, maybe Yelp or something, wherever you can give reviews of a business. I think it was Yelp. Anyway, but somebody left some reviews that basically his business is shit or something. And he felt that he had invoked Marcy's law over that because he's so scared for his life because this is cyber stalking because somebody left him a bad review on his bug business because he's a bug man and he sprays yards. And but her excuse for cyber stalking was the fact she was receiving spam emails. So I thought it highly hilarious that they're both involved in this childish juvenile behavior. I don't know how many of you all get spam emails. I myself have been getting spam emails since the internet came online. Everybody gets spam emails, but apparently that's cyber stalking. And because, and I'm kind of getting in the weeds here because I'm kind of reiterating what was in the police report, but for those of you that aren't aware of it, because she wrote down, because I am heavily political in the area. I'm a political person. Therefore, I cyber stalked her and sent her these spam emails. That was her probable cause. So just a huge joke, but he did try real hard to use that word stalking. I don't know how many times on the video because he wanted to get it in there, right? So he could, and then he kind of threatened me and watch what happens. What's going to happen, Greg? You and your little limp pool noodle gonna come over here and do something? No one is stalking you, Greg. You're gross, and your girlfriend is cuckoo, cuckoo. No one wants shit to do with you. That's why we're trying to get her voted out, because she's cuckoo and we want nothing to do with her. So you think real big of yourself if you feel like somebody is stalking you, especially me. I've got better things to do, like watch paint dry, than stalk your gross ass. Anyway, just thought that was hilarious. I wanted to share the video with you, but like I said, it took me about 3 weeks now because I was trying to have the sound fixed, and it just wasn't going to happen. So next time, I'm guessing I just won't yell into the mic, but I have to yell because then they can't hear me. So it's kind of a double-edged sword when you're trying to go into really loud events like that with a microphone. Everybody's screaming and the sound's going to get overmodulated. I don't have, excuse me, I don't have a soundboard attached to my hip, although I wish I did, because that would be great. And then I could adjust the sound as live. But anyway, with that being said, thanks for joining me. Just wanted to give that, because everybody's been asking, where's the video, Danny? Where's the video? Where's the video? I'm like, I'm trying to have it fixed. Like, trying to have the audio fixed, but it didn't happen. So I still wanted to bring it to you so you guys could at least see it and hear it in all of its annoying glory. But anyways, very comical, and yeah, just wanted to share that with you. More stuff to come. We still have 2.5 or so more months for this campaign season before election. So you're going to see more stuff coming out in regard to all the incumbents, really. So stay tuned for that, because it's going to be fun. So don't think this is the end and we don't have anything else to share, because we do. And with that being said, good night and thanks for joining me.